Hey, scrappy people. Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a layout using my brand new Wander and Wonder collection. This is the second layout I'm making with this collection. I made this one for the Instagram hop that was yesterday, and today I'm going to be making a different layout, a different kind of layout, different subject matter for today's YouTube hop. The YouTube hop is a teeny one this time around because everyone's on vacation, but that's okay because it just makes it easier to watch all of the videos. It is linked in the description box below, but let's talk about this layout from yesterday. So it is very busy, lots of layers, and beach themed from our Hawaii vacation last year. So this time around, I want to do a layout about a hike that my youngest and I went on up in the mountains of Tennessee. And I want to show you how this collection is so versatile. It can be used from the beach, it can be used for the mountains, and also I'm going to keep this one fairly simple too. You can see I've just barely print and cut anything from the digital kit. These alphabets are from the digital kit, and this sign is from the digital kit, and this frame. I also printed and cut an extra one of these cards that was in the journal cards because I printed my journaling on it. But other than that, I didn't pull anything from the digital kit. I'm going to be pulling in some stickers and a couple of cards I'm going to trim down and a few pieces of paper, and that is it, because we do not have to have super layer heavy layouts to make a big impact. So I have two photos here. One is obviously the main photo, and the other one is going to be a secondary photo. The main photo is, I don't even know, it looks like it's about 6 1/4 high. And, we missed one. 6 1/4 high, and let's see. Five inches wide. So it's kind of an odd size photo, but it fits with the sort of blocky theme I'm using, or the blocky design I'm using for this page. This one is 3 3/4 by 3, and it's going to fit inside that frame that I print and cut from the digital kit. Okay. Let me pull these off. Now you can see I printed 3 copies of my title, and I also saved myself some time and effort, and I smushed all of the letters together and print and cut them as one solid word. That way I don't have to worry about placing all of my, this didn't quite cut right, placing all of my letters back where I want them to be. Instead, I can just do the full word, which is much easier for lazy little me. I'll pull this scenic views off. It's very, very nice and simple and fun layout. So let me pull these off and not rip them. Oh, we ripped it. They're really delicate still because I just barely have them touching because I didn't want the letters to overlap. And the reason that I printed out 3 copies, and I'm sure that you have seen me do this before, but the reason that I printed out 3 copies is because in the digital kit, these are chipboard. You can tell by the sort of gray-brown outline, and you can't really tell when they're printed too much, but they also have like a small bevel around the outside edge. So they're meant to be chipboard feeling. So I like to, when things are supposed to be thicker, I like to print and cut at least 3 copies of them. And you can just cut 3 copies. You don't have to print 3 copies, but I'm just too lazy to not print 3 copies. But basically you only need the color on the top, right? But I like to print and cut 3 copies so that I can make them thicker like chipboard. Of course, they're not going to be chipboard, but they'll give you that height off of the page that you are looking for when you are using chipboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue these together so that they can dry while I am putting other things together. So just some liquid glue, making sure I'm getting all the edges and I just glue them back to back. 3 copies to make them nice and thick. Later today on Instagram, I will also have a reel about this with another idea that I do constantly for getting more texture out of your printables. So make sure that if you're following me over on Instagram, you're keeping an eye on that. I have been posting a ton on Instagram lately, lots of fun reels. I know that a lot of us are kind of reeled out, but I do find video format to be a great way to teach. And also, like, I've been posting a lot with my face lately because I'm a human and y'all should see me in all of my human glory. So I'm over there doing dorky things on Instagram if you're interested in me being a dork. Okay, last one. This is the mountain is so delicate. I know I'm gonna rip it. Let's see if I can get through this without ripping it. It's this little piece right here where the U meets the N that is so delicate. And stuck. All right, these are gonna dry. House Mountain was the place that we were hiking. It's in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was his first real hike. He's been asking to hike this summer, and it was his first real one. So I took him local, so we didn't have to drive anywhere, but House Mountain is basically a mile straight up, and it's a lot. So it was sort of a hazing event too, but he enjoyed it. So I wanted to use this paper as my background, but I already cut out of it and I don't want to print another one. So I think we're gonna have to use a different paper as our background. So this is gonna be the mat that I'm gonna build the whole thing around. Yeah, we got 2 missing pieces right here and I don't want to fight with it. So we're gonna find a different paper. But first, let's just build our layout. So I know that I want this paper here as well. I think 2 inches wide. And it's actually going to go as the base for my title that's gonna go this way down the page. So I thought about doing it this way, but having the words read like sideways and the pattern go straight up and down, it looked really weird to me when I thought about it. So we're gonna do this instead, and the pattern is also going to go sideways. So I'm gonna cut out 2 inches. And the mat is 10 by 10, and I'm gonna have a 1/4 inch top and bottom clearance around the mat. Sorry, the mat is 11 by 11. So if I'm gonna have a 1/4 inch around the edges, then that means that this mat, I'm just gonna trim this off so that there's not like random pattern here. That means that what the heck? There we go. Sorry. Can't think and talk at the same time. That means that this paper strip needs to be trimmed down to 10 and a half. 10 and a half. 1/4 inch top, 1/4 inch bottom. I'm gonna trim it to 10 3/4 just to make sure before I irrevocably cut this paper. But I'm pretty sure it's 10 and a half. Yes. Oh, look at that. The paper itself is 10 and a half. Okay. So that means if I'm going to take a 1/4 off, or no, the paper itself is. I'm mathing, you guys. I'm mathing. Okay. 10 1/4. We're taking a 1/2 inch off. All right, let's see what that looks like. There we go. That's right. And then this photo is going to go here. So we've got here and here. It's gonna come together real fast, you guys. Except for the gluing down part. This is going to go up here. So we've got some nice spacing in between everything. And then our secondary photo goes down here. And it's going to have this frame over the top, but I also need something here and something here. And that's where journal cards come in. I'm gonna use this one and this one. what did I say the width of this was? 5 inches. So this is a 6 by 4 inch. So we need to cut off a 1/2 inch on both sides to make it match the size of the picture. I haven't done a good old-fashioned blocky layout in a long time. Okay, so now we're gonna cut this one down to 2 inches. So we need to cut 1 inch off the top and 1 inch off the bottom. And this one's gonna be 2 by 3, which matches the size. Ooh, we don't want that. Which matches the size of the photo. Okay, everything's trimmed. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here. I think this is a little bit too tall. Trim a little closer. Okay. This goes here and this goes here. So that is our basic structure of this layout, but you know that your girl absolutely 100% cannot have a plain structured layout. We have to do, hold on, I'm getting my, we have to do what I like to call breaking the grid. So let's make the grid and then we will break it. So I'm just gonna use some tear tape just because I'm being lazy. And I don't want to pull out my ATG gun because it's loud and annoying. This just takes a little bit more effort. So this doesn't have to be perfectly gridded. I'm telling myself that because I am a perfectionist. Yes, it does. I don't know who I'm kidding. We're gonna make this as perfect as possible. Come on. Thank you. Okay, so 1/4 inch all the way around. So let's put this up in the top, make it nice and straight before we put it down. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna repeat that process with each one of these pieces, and I'm gonna fast forward because you do not wanna watch me do this in real time. All right, so that is the basic layout. Now I'm gonna put down the frame, and this is already gonna quote unquote break the grid because you know, it's already breaking the grid, obviously. All right, I give up. I'm sorry, I'm using the loud one. That tear tape was fussy. And I also need liquid glue for this one because we've got a thin piece over here. So I love these layered frames. There's 3 of these layered frames in this digital kit. And of course, obviously, you can indeed use them in your paper scrapbooking. Da, 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 da. They have ephemera. They're really cool. And this is okay, remember, because we're still matting this. So they have ephemera built in. They're super fun. All right, we're going to do House Mountain. Let's put down our title. And then I'm going to pull a few stickers. We'll see if we need anything else after that. Sometimes simple and sweet is perfect, especially since I love these photos. I love most photos, but these ones I especially love. I always love the beautiful view photos. And of course, I got to bring my boy to one of my favorite hikes. So lots of memories. I actually have pictures of us too that I will scrapbook to go with this, but I decided to just focus on my favorites of just him this time with this layout. Let's make sure everything's nice and straight. There we go. House Mountain. All right. let's pull out some stickers. There are 90 stickers in this collection, plus 52 journaling stickers. Where are those? 52 journaling stickers. So there's double the stickers in this collection. Love, love, love. The more stickers, the better. Okay, so I printed out this scenic views because it was just a little bit bigger than the sticker. So I'm gonna put that, and I want this tag too, but I actually don't want it to say it's a good day. I mean, it was a good day, but I'm gonna cover that part up because I just kind of want the black part of the tag hanging out. So I'm just gonna put it, at the top of this photo. And I'm gonna cover up the rest of it with the sign that says Scenic Views. I just feel like there's a lot of words, and I'm actually gonna even add more words. So we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna actually keep this up a little bit higher. Remember, we have a mat still coming. And then I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put this compass here. Dun, da, da, da. Now you don't even know that there were words on it. Just makes a nice little mat there. I have this camera out, but I don't know if I'm gonna use it. I do want to use the hiking boots, even though we were wearing tennis shoes. And the Let's Go Explore. We're gonna cluster this down here in the bottom with the ephemera. I'm gonna hang it off of the edge here. And put the hiking boots on top of it. Then, I think the map goes underneath. No! I always prefer the repositionable ATG over the liquid glue, especially since it seems like every time I use the liquid glue, I screw up. But that's okay, because it's not dry yet. We're just gonna pull it up a little bit and angle it down. There we go. Cute, cute. And now, okay, so one thing I was being anal retentive about is this is a beach down here, and this is mountains, and we were definitely in the mountains, and I am anal retentive if nothing else, so we're gonna cover up the beach. Ugh, no liquid glue, stop doing that. So I'm gonna put this national parks just right over the top of it, so you can't even tell, but I can't cover up. I want to cover up the journaling. So we're going to put it right here. And then we have to cover up that motel key too, because now it looks weird. So I'm just going to put this right over the top of it. We weren't actually in a national park. It's weird the things I'm anal retentive about and the things that I am not. We weren't actually in a national park, but it's close enough. All right, last but not least, let's put this camera here. I'm gonna put it underneath the title a little bit. And I think, do I want it under the map or on the map? I think on the map. On the map, under the shoes, under the title. All right, we got it. Cute. All right, so let's leave that like it is for just a moment and find a background paper for it. Now that my first choice of background papers has been vetoed by my already using it, I might end up having to print it again. No. Okay, let's see. I don't think the red's gonna work. Well, it might actually. Actually, I kind of like that. I kind of like the stripe. Okay, that's a maybe. No, that's too busy. Actually, that works pretty well too. And I am not the kind of person that minds putting flowers with my boy. He likes flowers too. Too busy. Ooh, the black kind of looks good too. Oh. Ooh, I kind of like that too. No. Oh my gosh, that one looks good too. It's very busy though. I think with the geotags, it's a little bit too busy, even though it does match the theme pretty well. Nope. No double green. Too busy. too busy. I like the other black better. Ugh, come out. We weren't flying anywhere, although the blue would look good. The stripe looks good too, but again, I don't love that double busyness. No double green. Oh, and the rest are all half used, except for that one. Nope, I like the black cameras better. So now it's between the black, which I think I really like, the pink, which I also really like, and the stripe. I think the black is the winner for me. What about you? Tell me in the comments, would you choose, what would you have chosen? Would you choose one of these or would you choose one of the other ones I did? What do you think? I'm gonna go with the black, but I'll be interested to know what you think. So you tell me in the comments if you think I made a big mistake. I actually think I might like this black camera better than I liked the one I couldn't use. All right, so let's center this. Look at, oh, that brings the whole thing together. That black really grounds it. Perfect. All right, let me cut off the branding strip. Somebody asked me that these looked like a regular scrapbooking kit. So are they available for sale? I love being a dork, and so I make them for myself look like a regular scrapbooking kit. It makes me feel real and official when I do printables. But I really do wish there was a way that I could start selling these. Maybe in the future, depending on how the world goes. But right now, I just can't. Look at it. Oh, look how cute it came out. Oh, I love it. I was thinking that when I got done with it, I might want to add something to it. But I'm thinking that anything that I add to it just would be kind of overkill at this point. Like, yes, I could add like some arrows maybe. That's kind of cool. Maybe an up arrow, some wood veneer. But I just don't know that it needs it, you know? I could add it and it would be fine, but I don't think it needs it. And I need to learn, I need to learn when less is more. So as much as I think that that would be kind of cool, we're gonna leave it the way that it is. And I sort of love it. But look at how cool this is. Same collection, two completely different layouts. One's on the beach, very busy. One is in the mountains, more calm, more clean lines. I love it. This collection is so super versatile. So that is it for this video. Go ahead and hop along with the team down in the description box below. The Wander and Wonder collection is on sale 40% off and 51% off if you buy the bundle. It's on sale through Wednesday. So if you love this collection as much as I do, you should definitely pick it up on sale. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. And I will see you next time. Thank you.